In 2014, our goal was to educate and inspire the next generation of young Black leaders. So we set out to find the nation's best of the best to reveal the secrets to success. Our belief is that we should teach the young early the things that we learn late. Our lives are shifting the culture. Our lives are changing the narrative. This is the ShineHard Conversation. Welcome back to another episode of the ShineHard Conversation. I'm your host, Johnny Bailey, and this week I'm in Washington, D.C. with tech entrepreneur Tina Bonner. Tina is an amazing entrepreneur. She has a wild journey. She's been a celebrity DJ. She's co-founded marketing agencies. She's helped hundreds of millennials start businesses, and she's been recognized as top 30 under 30. So I'm really happy to have her here on the show. Today she's going to talk about how she got to where she is today and hopefully share some keys to her personal success. So without further ado, Tina, it's time to shine.
What's up? I'm here. So what's my first question?
So, you know, when people look on Instagram and they might hear about us, they can see how dope our work looks and how our brands look, but they don't always know what growing up was like for us, how we really got to where we were.
Absolutely.
So talk about your childhood and what growing up was like for you.
Sure. So growing up for me, I was a very privileged kid. I will say that. I've had super supportive parents. Growing up was easy. That was the easy part. It wasn't until I got to older ages, around high school, where you start wanting things for yourself. You want to start doing things for yourself. I will say that early on, I got introduced to entrepreneurship. Yeah. So while my homegirls and my girlfriends, like 7, 8 years old, are playing with Barbies, I'm trying to sell lemonade at a lemonade stand. I'm trying to flip bracelets and hats and anything you can imagine. So I got introduced to entrepreneurship really early, like super early. My dad was always kind of an entrepreneur. It's just I always got introduced to entrepreneurship early. So that's kind of been a thread. My grandfather was an entrepreneur, so it definitely ran in my family. But when I got to high school or college rather, I had this vision. My brother had a vision first, and he said, "Hey, I had this vision of you being a DJ." I'm like, "Okay, tell me more," because I never listened to music. Like that wasn't my thing. I never was like the person that was like, yo, I'm about to spin in records, and that wasn't me. And so the first question, JB, that I asked, the very first question was, how much money can I make? That was my first question. And
wait, how old were you when he asked you?
I was 18.
Okay.
18. Freshman in college, like first semester, fresh off the boat.
What school were you at?
I was at VCU at the time.
Okay.
And so I said, how much money can I make?
Yeah.
And he said, sis, nobody's doing that. I think you can make a lot of money. And literally that conversation changed everything. And so he gave me a vision, he showed me what I could do, and I said, I'm doing it. And so the next semester, I came back with my equipment, was booming. The following semester, I was the official DJ for the school. And the following year rather, that's when I transferred to Howard and got signed to Wale's record label. At the time was the board administration.
Right.
So that's been my entrepreneurial journey. It was. I've always had supportive parents.
So just picking up turntables and just spinning at like house parties, and they're like, "Yo, come do it for the campus."
No. So one thing about being at a campus that's an open campus like VCU is that like, whatever happens outside the city kind of bleeds over. And so I actually got my start outside of the campus first. I was doing a lot of the clubs and stuff like that, 534, and some people may know about that stuff. And I was doing a lot of the Richmond clubs. Yeah. And it only but so long that doesn't catch on to what's happening in the college. And so at that point, that gave me leverage. And I just had a conversation with the director, the student activities director. Yeah. And I was like, listen, this is what I'm doing outside of campus. Like, I think I had asked to DJ homecoming or something like that. And they were like, no way. I was like, okay. But they did let me do some things at the student center and stuff like that. And I just worked my way up. So I'll be honest with y'all, I used to lie. And I don't recommend this, but I used to lie and at the beginning of my DJ career. And I used to tell people that I had like done certain things that I hadn't. And I used to tell them, yeah, I've been DJing forever. I'll never forget my very first party. I was like, yeah, I'm a DJ, I'm a rock it. Got there, bombed it. Literally terrible. Like, I think I got booed that night.
You playing all the wrong songs?
I mean, transitions sound like something screeching. I mean, it was like so bad.
You had police sirens on your transition?
Ding, 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 like holding it for 30 seconds instead of just a quick joint. I mean, it was bad. But I got my start there because I was able to share vision, and
Right.
so that's been a thread for me. But yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. I would say my DJ career definitely gave me my stripes too.
Yeah.
Like, it was tough being a female in that male-dominated industry.
Right. So what did you study at VCU and at Howard?
Yeah. So At VCU, I studied communications.
Okay.
I went into school. What was my question to my advisor was, what is the one major that I can do and get through the easiest? And he said communications.
Yeah.
So I said, sign me up for communications. So that's what I did. And so I've never been I'm in love with education, and I love the concept of education,
Right.
and I love knowledge. But the school system itself, I really wanted to get more into the technical parts, and I couldn't do it. So
Did you feel like you were always in classes that weren't interesting to you?
I don't even know. I still don't know why I took physics. I don't know why I took physics. I don't know. I've never used anything of that to this day.
Yeah.
So I was a little frustrated with school, so I was just trying to get in and get out.
Right.
I will say, though, that I was excited to go because I am the first person in my family to graduate from college.
Respect.
So I think it's just more of something for my children to be able to follow. Like,
Absolutely.
Mommy did it, so either way,
Yeah.
I know it's important, so absolutely.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about your career as an entrepreneur.
Okay.
And how you got started there.
Sure.
I mean, obviously the DJ life, but now you are living in Atlanta.
I live in
You know,
Atlanta.
you have your own business. Tell us
Yeah.
more about your business and
Sure.
your role and the mission of your company.
Sure. So I transitioned. A lot of people say, how you transition from DJing all the way over to like marketing
Yeah.
and tech and stuff like that. So the transition was birthed out of pain. Literally, the transition was birthed out of pain. I was tired
Yeah.
of DJing. I was literally in the club 4 or 5 nights a week, tired. And so I had to get to a place where I said, okay, what I tolerate is going to become my normal. So if I
Yeah.
tolerate this, it's going to be my normal life.
Yeah.
And I just got tired, JB, and so I said, I got to do something now before I really burn out.
Right.
And so I started using the skills that I have, and I challenge anybody who's listening, look at your inventory, look at the
Right.
skills that you have, and how can you use what you've got to transition.
So what do you feel like you gained from being a DJ for those years?
Absolutely, a couple of things. I think one is when I tell you my stripes. In doing business, it takes a level of toughness. Like, entrepreneurship is the hardest thing I've ever done. So many nights I wanted to cry. So many nights I have cried. So many nights I've applied to jobs and literally didn't go to the interview because I'm like, I gotta just keep going. And so it's been very tough.
Yeah.
I mean, my bank account at zero many times. And so that's just the transparency. But I think what kept me going was knowing that, like, this is for a bigger cause. So DJing really, like, gave me my stripes in terms of realizing I got to keep doing this thing, and it's for a purpose. So that's one. I think another thing that DJing did that transitioning me was my network.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, the network that I created
Because you're
in
meeting
that space.
so many people,
Oh
and
my
you're like
gosh.
the pinnacle of that night for people.
Absolutely. And so between the business cards and information and people
Right.
just coming
And
up
you
like,
on the
yo,
mic. You shine your name out.
Rocking the mic a little bit. So that allowed me to have a network. So when I did transition to the next thing, I was able to just carry everybody over.
Right.
So that's really what I got out of it. A lot of great connections.
Right.
I think even charisma too. The ability to be able to have conversations, have tough conversations.
Yeah.
Like, I have to punk some people for my money sometimes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, because nightlife is tough business.
Come on, exactly. And so it's even to have those conversations.
People be like, I ain't got it.
Exactly. I've had some nights. I'm not going to call nobody out. Y'all know who y'all are. But now I've had some nights for sure. And so all that stuff it gives you the soft skills to do business. And
Yeah.
so, that's what I definitely gained
So
from
you
it.
transitioned. So tell us about your business now.
Yeah, so I transitioned from that, and I said, let me take my skills that I have now. And so I was always been a designer.
Yeah.
Always been a designer. And so I said, maybe I can figure out how to tap into design work. And I found a developer over in Bangladesh who was literally developing apps. And so I put my designs over top of it, and I was getting, like, he was charging me maybe like $4 or $5 an hour, something
Wow.
ridiculously low.
Yeah.
And I would upsell it for 4 times the price. And so I got into the tech field that way. That's how I transitioned. And so I was started, but here's the thing, and this is the idea about ladder switching, is that I built apps for people in the industry that I was already in.
Which
so my
was?
first few clients
Yeah.
were The Park, DJ Quicksilver, DJ, what's the guy's name from 757? DJ DC.
Okay.
So those were one of my first few clients, and that's the idea that all I did was stay in the industry that I was,
Right.
and then I transitioned slowly.
That's very important too. Building off the momentum that you've
There
already
you
created,
go.
and
Yeah.
then branching off.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah, and thank you all for being my first few test clients. It worked out. So yeah, I used that, and then I just kind of went from there.
Yeah.
And I was able to really transition. So I got to Atlanta because I wanted something different. I was doing well in DC. My business partner at the time, we're doing really well. We wanted to move to a bigger city.
Right.
And so at that time, we said Atlanta's a place to be, cost of living. At the time, they were really booming with the tech space and really getting included there. So we moved to Atlanta, and that's how I got there.
Nice. So tell me about your business. Like,
okay.
What do you got going on now?
Since I've moved to Atlanta, I have a couple different things going on. One is absolutely the personal brand is booming.
Yeah.
So excited about that. I think I'm at a really good space. Like I'm at the point now, when you feel yourself getting better, like you used to try to bench 200 and then you finally like, okay, I really am benching 200
Wait, you
now.
try to bench 200?
No, but I feel like I've been trying to bench 200 with life for a long time.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm at the place now where I can walk in the gym and be like, let's go. I'm benching it with no problem. And so I can feel myself getting really good. And I feel like I'm getting better by the second. And so because of that now, I really want to share what I know to others.
Yeah.
So that's what the personal brand is about. But my business day-to-day is two parts. One is a little bit more strategy based. So I've stepped into technology consulting. So if you have an app idea, you have a web idea, you have something that's stuck in your mind, and you say, how can I make this come to life?
Yeah.
We do consulting and really be able to help people bring their ideas to life as it relates to technology. And so the second thing that I do is actually have a startup. So I'm at the Atlanta Tech Village. I'm excited because I'm actually on a scholarship there.
I heard.
So we applied for a
Congratulations.
scholarship. Thank you. Thank you. We're one of the few actually companies there that are on a scholarship. And so what we're building is a platform to help influencers monetize. So a lot of people have big followings, they've got a big network.
Ain't making no money.
Not making any money. Or they're not making it residual. So we want to help people make money and tap into residual income, but do it automatically. And so our software, once you plug in, you'll be able to do that.
That's real.
So it's exciting. We're about 7-8 months in, and we should be finished building the platform at the top of the year.
So entrepreneurship is so tough, as you mentioned, and it's rigorous.
Super hard.
And there's ups and there's downs in it, right? So what are some of the lessons, or what's the one lesson that you've learned from entrepreneurship itself?
Wow.
That you would just be like, that's really my key value in this journey right now?
One lesson, I can only pick one.
Just pick one. It doesn't mean it's the most important one, but that can just be one that sticks with you.
So one lesson that I've learned, goodness, I'm trying to think what makes most sense in my life right now. I think is two parts, and it's a two-part answer, but I think one is partnership. You can have bad situations or situations that don't turn out favorable, and because they don't turn out favorable, they can taint a situation for the future.
Yeah.
And so because of that, I realized the value of partnership even more.
Yeah.
And so I can say that where I'm at now, I will never do a business by myself. And even though some situations that I've had may not have ended well or been favorable, that can make you, it's just like a relationship. That's why people get out of relationships and they say, I'm never going to date again, because that situation has promoted trauma or something like that. But that situation in general can't stop you from your future.
Yeah.
And so
and that's always a tough place to battle when you say, okay, I have an idea. Do I want to bring someone else into my idea, or do I want to go in this myself? Because you always have the risk of having an idea with someone else, and then it gets to a point where you guys have different vision for where it's supposed to go. For this baby, we both wanted to go different directions.
So here's what I would say about that. I will always have partners, but I also will always make sure that we know who's in control. I will always make sure that we know who's really the CEO.
Okay.
I'll always make sure that we know who's really the entrepreneur, who's the manager, and who's the technician.
But when you have hierarchy like that, don't you lose a little bit of commitment in that?
Not if everything is clear. Just because, here's the thing. In my personal opinion, just because you have hierarchy, it's not necessarily hierarchy, it's roles, right? So that means that if I see that this person is fit to be the CEO, that means that they can make better decisions than me. Doesn't mean that they can manage better than me though. So because I know that every joint supply, we all can get paid the same. I'm just trusting that because you're in the CEO position, that I'm going to allow you to make the best decisions as it relates to the company. And so when you have those gray areas, everybody can't be the CEO. Really, there should only be one.
Of course.
Because it's only one person that can make the decision. But it's up to the other people to submit to that.
But the challenge is creating that ownership and buy-in from the people who aren't the CEO or the founder.
So I don't have that problem. I think, and the reason why is because knowing how to pitch, literally. I was talking about a concept on Instagram the other day of pitching versus selling. And so selling is the idea of talking about your credentials, talking about what you've done, talking about, you know, all these other things. But I've become so good at being able to cast vision that anything I share with you, I'm going to show you how you being a part of it will make sense.
Yeah.
So now you can see how it works for us together.
And that's the key.
That's the key. And so I'll be honest with you, I spent so much of my life trying to sell people. Like, come on, like I've done this, you can do this with me. People, they don't want to be sold. No. And I'll even say with my last situation and my last business and just even some other things that I've been with, I've tried to sell so much. And it's just about casting vision. So when you get to a place where you can cast vision, man, come on.
That reminds me of like Steve Jobs. Like he's one of my favorite entrepreneurs, and he definitely would be on like my Mount Rushmore of inspiration in regards to like entrepreneurship.
Me too. He's good.
Who are 2 or 3 people that would be on your Mount Rushmore of inspiration?
Inspiration. So as it relates to just being inspired, who I can look and get motivated to, absolutely Eric Thomas.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
E.T.
Come on, man. And like there's times where you just need some motivation. E.T. gets me there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like E.T. absolutely gets me there. I mean, I love what he's doing. I can listen to something and like just be on, like just be on one. So when it comes to emotional,
don't cry to give up.
You know all of them, don't you?
I know all of them.
Man, E.T. is the man.
Yeah, he's the
E.T.,
guy.
I would love to be able to meet him and just catch his energy one day.
Yeah.
But E.T. for inspiration, absolutely E.T. As it relates to more business, I follow a lot of people, but who I really love is Russell Brunson. I really love Russell Brunson. I am inspired by him and his zeal. He just has such a good heart.
Yeah.
I love that he's not afraid, even to talk about his religion. Right. He's not afraid. He's openly a believer, as I am too, and that he's just willing to go hard with his business. And he's so transparent, but he's willing to give all his secrets. That's the difference. So when it comes to business stuff, I love Russell Brunson. That's my guy. Shout out to Russell. He probably will
Virgin Airlines.
No, Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels.
Who am I thinking?
You're talking about Russell.
Russell Brunson wrote.
Richard Branson.
Richard Branson.
I'm talking about Russell Brunson.
Yeah, he wrote .com Secrets.
.com Secrets.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yep, that's my guy. I mean, I love his stuff. So.
That's a good book too. Yeah, he actually taught me how to create funnels.
Yes.
And the whole sales ladder and all that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty deep too. So kind of transitioning to what our organization is really about is passion and helping people find passion and recognizing people who have already identified their passion. I can tell that you're walking in it.
Yeah.
So talk about what your passion is and when you knew.
Sure. So to be honest with you, I think I really found out what I was passionate about this year.
Really?
Yeah, this year I started DJing because I liked business, not because I liked music, which is why I also burned out really fast because I wasn't built for it.
Right.
But I found out what I'm really passionate about this year, and to be honest, what I'm passionate about is people. I thought it was business,
In
but
what way, though?
Business is just. I'll say it like this: I love watching people get better, if that makes sense. I love helping people get better. So my passion is people and seeing results.
Right.
So you'll see me on Instagram, like talk that talk, right? You'll see me on Instagram, like if we're not talking about results, we're not talking about nothing.
Yeah, your stories be lit. Like you have a mini ET on your stories.
I just be excited because if we're not, results change my life, JB. Yeah. That's why I say that.
Yeah.
So when I think about people have such great ideas. People have such great ambition. They're so passionate about what they do. But if they don't have strategy to get to the next place, they'll just end up being just another person doing something. Yeah. So when I say I'm passionate about people, I'm passionate about seeing people get results. Like, I'm so passionate about that. And it doesn't have to be results in business. It could be results in their personal life. I love seeing people results even in ministry, right? Yeah. When I'm doing ministry, I love to see people go from not knowing anything about God to the next place, and they're like, man, like I see change. So I'm just passionate about results. And I think I really realized that this year, that we can talk about a lot of things. I can tell you, I thought I was passionate about branding. I thought I was passionate about marketing. Yeah. Those are just the surface.
It's kind of a learning process, right?
I mean,
you
chase
your passion, and this is my passion, and you indulge in that, and then you realize, like, okay, this isn't really my passion. It's something else. It's something deeper or greater, and you continue to like plug away.
And you know what? You probably didn't realize your passion till you kept doing it.
Exactly.
You had to keep doing it. So I've been consistent.
I mean, I've worked for Nike. I've worked for a lot of things that I thought were like my dream, and then I transitioned.
Man, passion is good. So I would say finding your passion, But the one thing I would tell people about passion is that passion can be misleading sometimes when it comes to business. So, and this is just my personal opinion, and I'll give my disclaimer.
Is this a challenge that you faced?
Yes.
Okay.
Because there's some things that I think that could be passionate about or may be passionate about, but that doesn't mean I need to build a business around them. And so I learned that the hard way is that everything that you're passionate about doesn't mean that it's a business. And so that's all I would say is just that.
So how you decipher the two?
Business decisions make sense. Passion doesn't always make sense for business.
And sense is what? Dollars?
Sense is all, dollars, time,
impact,
all that stuff. So it's a formula for it.
Yeah.
But business, when you do it, has to make sense in those areas. And so when you do business, and here's the thing, to be a business, you've got to be transacting something. You see what I'm saying? So although we try to make money the main thing, it is a part of the main thing, because if you're not transacting, you don't have a business, you have a hobby. So when you talk about doing business, you've got to be transacting money. You've got to be transacting some kind of exchange for something. If not, you have it a hobby. And if that's a hobby, okay, but when you talk about passion, if you follow your passion and you create a business around something that's only meant to be a hobby, you're just going to burn out. And that's just what I'm trying to save people from, is burnout.
That's deep. That's deep. So do you believe everyone has a passion or a dream?
Yes.
So what separates people from who have realized that passion or that dream and the people who haven't?
I think exploration, discovery, just like what we just talked about.
Right.
The only reason we really are able to articulate our passion is because we discovered it.
Yeah.
We went through the motions.
So many.
We had an event and it failed.
Yeah.
We had a good event and we learned from it. We did another event and that one failed too.
Yeah.
But then we learned from it, and we figured out every time I do an event, I realize, oh, I really like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't really like doing that so much. And after time, you realize, okay, there's a formula of things that make me passionate about something.
Yeah.
That's how you put the pieces of the puzzle together. So passion doesn't come overnight. You become breadcrumbs.
Right.
And that's the thing about God, like our destiny is in hot pursuit of us.
Absolutely.
Yo. Like, so you
what
keep
you
going.
seek is seeking you. And that's so crazy because
That's good.
what happens as well is people start calling on you to do what you're called to do. And people around you will see something in you.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
They see it before you see
They
it.
see it.
So, yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
I would say passion means keep going.
Yep.
You'll find your passion when you keep going.
What inspires you to succeed?
Wow, inspires me to succeed. I think a couple of things. One is absolutely family.
Yeah.
But I think, to be honest with you, and I'm going to try not to get deep.
Oh, here she go.
But what inspires me to succeed is absolutely obedience, because when you know that there is something that you're supposed to be doing and that God has put something in your life to do, like, you not doing it is being disobedient. You not doing it is affecting others. Every time you don't record a video, somebody's affected by it. You see what I'm saying? So for me, what inspires me to keep going is to know that, one, if I don't do this, I'm not being pleasing to God, because He created me for this. Like, He created me just for this. So that's number one. And number two is that every time I abandon my purpose, somebody else doesn't get touched. That was supposed to be touched by what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So if I didn't do this event tonight, people drove from Richmond to be here. I didn't know that. Some people were saying that they were going to come to Atlanta for the last one. So my point is that every time we abandon purpose, there's somebody that misses out on where you were supposed to touch them. So I get inspired and I keep doing what I'm doing because people are counting on me. People are counting on you, JB.
I know it. I'm here. We're here
That's
for
what
a
inspires.
reason.
Absolutely.
And it's so crazy because right now, more than ever, it seems like young black people need positivity. They need inspiration.
They're
they
hungry
need
for it.
black excellence.
They're hungry for it.
And I mean, with the president and, just so many things going on in the world. What would you say frustrates you the most about today's culture?
Oh, I can tell you right offhand. What frustrates me the most about our culture is the microwave society. We want stuff so fast, literally. I mean, people will start a business today and not make any money tomorrow and be like, I'm done.
Right.
So I think what frustrates me most is just the lack of zeal, the lack of sugar-coated ambition. Like, we think we're ambitious, but you're not.
Yeah.
It's almost like fool's gold ambition.
Yeah, no, that's real.
Like, I think that's what gets me the most with our generation is we want something so fast.
Yeah.
We don't want to work for it. We don't trust nobody, so we don't want to partner with nobody. We don't want to put her on. We don't want to share people our secrets. We're so complex. We're so smart that we're not smart. So I think that's what messes up our generation most is that
I think people will run hard when the dog's chasing them, But if you put goals in front of them, they start jogging.
Isn't it crazy? So that's what I would say most. Is literally people just they want it so fast and they want to work for it. So that's the one thing I would say.
So I'm a bookworm. I have a pretty nice library that I'm proud of. I'm sure you do as well, since you like Russell Brunson.
Yes.
What's one book that has really impacted your life as an entrepreneur?
So.
Or as a young black woman?
Got it. I think specifically as an entrepreneur, 2 books that stand out. One is the E-Myth.
Of course.
E-Myth.
Yeah, that book changed my life.
Changed my life. Especially if you're watching this in your first 2 years in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
E-Myth Revisited absolutely changed everything I thought about business. Yeah. It liberated me. The second book, which really gave language to my personality, to my life, was called Smart Cuts. Smart Cuts, and it talks about how
haircuts. You got a smart cut.
I know. I was smart because I got a cut. And now I'm doing my hair. But no, it's called Smart Cuts, and it talks about how entrepreneurs accelerate success. And so what happened was that book just changed how I thought. It's one thing, you're not lost. Most people are not lost. They just don't have language for their season. And so I was lost, I thought, but I just didn't have language for where I was. Reading that book gave me language to my life, language to how I think, language to everything. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm not lost. I just didn't know how to articulate what I really do. And so that's what reading can do for you.
And that book's called?
Smart Cuts.
Nice.
And it's actually inspired me to create my own podcast because it talks about hacks and stuff like that. I really believe that there's cheat codes to greatness.
Absolutely.
And so
there's nothing new under the sun. You just got to, study the philosophy of what creates success, and then you got to stick to it.
That's it, consistency. Yeah. Stick to it.
Compound effect.
I'm having a podcast that's dropping in January.
Plug it in. What is it?
It's called Cheat Plug
codes.
It in. No, it's called The Cheat Codes to Greatness. Because there are cheat codes to greatness. You don't just wake up and be great. There are cheat codes. So I'm excited about that. I've been working on that for some time, fumbling with the name, and the content is there. But you see the kind of stuff I put on Instagram. Really want people to realize you can get there faster. Like the science behind me switching from a DJ to the entrepreneurship into more so the tech. There was a hack. There's a formula to what I did.
Absolutely.
And I want to share that.
There's a science to success. I really believe that.
I love it.
I really believe
Science
that.
is success. I never heard that.
Hey, don't steal my name.
I like it. I love it. So yeah, if you can check that out, that'll be awesome. That'll be dropping in January. I'll be doing a sneak peek within the next couple weeks, but I'm excited about that.
So we have a lot of college students that would love to check it out and that are probably going to be watching this. A lot of young professionals, millennials that are just want to get their side hustle, want to leave their day job. They have a job they hate.
I feel it.
All those things that we have so much passion inside of us, but haven't found a way to express that, right?
Sure.
So what advice do you have for the young people of this generation that want to be tech entrepreneurs or want to realize their passion? What advice do you have?
So MVP, you know what that is. I would say treat your life like an MVP. JB and I talk about the tech lingo all the time. It stands for minimum viable product. So minimum viable product. Get yourself an MVP. Live your life like that. And the idea is that you're not going to know everything. You're not going to be able to build everything. If you got the business idea, don't try to be able to build it all out before you go to market. Just get something that you can actually have, something that you can actually share with other people, something that you can actually test and get to market with. So that's my one thing I would say is that one is get out your own head, but 2 is actually get out there, do it. It wasn't until I actually had my first event that I realized I actually like doing events and I actually want to do more of them. And so I would say definitely number 1, get out your own head. You can do it. Everything you need is inside of you. You just have to get the right strategy. And then 2 is just get a product and get it out there. Yeah. Get it out there.
Dope. So that's all I got for you today. Very dope interview. Appreciate all of your insight.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you, JB.
Your
it took me 4 seasons to get here. I'm finally, that means I'm popping. I'm on ShineHard now. I'm popping. I appreciate you, sir. I appreciate you.
So let everybody know how they can find you online and what's coming up.
So you can find me online at www.tinabonner.com. You can check out everything that I'm doing there. You can actually work with me. You can see what I'm doing, tweets, all that good stuff.
Instagram.
Instagram is at SincerelyTinaB, just like it sounds, SincerelyTinaB. You can reach me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All my handles are that. So reach out if you have a business, you're excited, if you got an idea, reach out. If you're in Atlanta, reach out. I love connecting, and I love being able to help entrepreneurs make their dreams come true.
Nice.
So let's do it.
You guys can find me, Johnny Bailey, at @1JohnnyBailey. Follow the ShineHard movement at ShineHardFam on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And as always, find your passion. The best way to find your passion is to start. Stay consistent. What you seek is seeking you. Believe that. And as always, shine for the culture. Peace. Tina, thanks.
Awesome. Appreciate you.
Again, our goal is to help young Black boys and girls discover their passion and change the world, but we cannot do this without the help of the ShineHard community. Will you be the milestone donor that helps a 17-year-old Black girl learn the path of a plastic surgeon? Will you be the keystone donor that helps a 22-year-old graduate break through into the tech industry? We as a community can accomplish so much together, but the time to act is now. Here's what you can do. Scroll down, click donate, and invest in the future of our community. I'm Johnny Bailey, and together we shine.